Okay, we're here with Dope Air Magazine. We are with Generation Next. This is a group of teenagers that we've pulled together, ages 15 to 18. And they are going to tell us what they expect for their future, considering most of them cannot vote this year. And we're kind of just, yes, we have one. We have AJ. She's able to vote for her first time. I'd love to hear more about that, but we're going to ask a few questions. And to start with, let's go into, the first question is, what do you think is the most important issue we should be working on today?
Less poverty.
Less poverty? Oh, you were also talkative.
Education more. We need to have more focus and more attention on the education that the youth are getting in this nation.
Okay, anybody else?
I think we should focus more on the culture of how everyone sees each other, and especially like with queer youth, how people are like shamed into not even being themselves or not even wanting to be themselves. So I think that's a big problem.
That's a good one.
I think racism is still a problem, even though we're in the, what century is this? 21st century.
Yeah, it's like racism. I think we gotta work on like noticing people as actual people and not as black, white, Latino. Because like characteristics is really what defines someone.
Oh well. Like I don't have you.
I'm just thinking about gentrification, like, because there are good aspects of it, but it's really bad at how the negative parts are pushing out people who've been here for years and people who like help build up the culture of Oakland. So that's what I'm really concerned about.
Just to like follow up with what Noelle was saying, gentrification, I also see as a huge issue. Like San Francisco, there's like only 3% of black population left, and we can even see in our own community, in our own homes, seeing people that don't look like us, or taking over the neighborhood, and then pushing us in more inland with less opportunities, where we have to start again away from our families.
Another issue I believe that's urgent as of right now is pollution. Every year we're emitting like trillions of tons of CO2 and other harmful elements, man-made elements into the atmosphere and into Earth itself. Is really destroying this planet.
To follow up on that, I'm infuriated with all you people out there who like literally gave us, or all the generations before us, who now we have like 300 years left on this earth because y'all want to overheat the world and be like, oh, there's no such thing as global warming. It's fine. We'll be cool. No, we need to fix this.
Polar bears are coming to Canada now. They should not be in Canada. They should be in... I'm just saying, polar bears are coming to Canada now.
Yeah, we know.
They shouldn't be in Canada.
Why?
They're always been in Canada.
There's no ice.
Global warming is
like fucking glubbing everybody up.
No, they've always been in Canada.
No,
We just they're traveling south more.
No, they haven't been in Canada.
No, they've been in Canada.
They have not been in Canada.
I swear I thought polar bears were in Canada.
No, they're not in Canada. We're going to debate about this.
Y'all need to
Yes.
chill. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, other
On
questions.
to the next question.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so what would you like to see change in our society?
You irritate my fucking soul.
Dude!
I'd like to see, as he said before, I'd like to see the education change, because education is just terrible nowadays. It's so easy to graduate, and that's not okay. I mean, it is, because I graduated with it, but it's not okay.
You want to make it harder?
Can you repeat the question? No, I don't want to make it harder.
Sure.
It sucks how simple it is. You can have straight F's all year and still graduate. Yeah.
You won't get a good job.
You can still get it.
Well, I mean, what do you think of job training, like maybe the last 2 years of your life? I mean, your high school career.
Yeah, no, they also really need to start educating us on like how we're supposed to live as adults, because it's like it's a big deal about, oh, you're about to go into college, or oh, you're about to go do this and have to pay bills, but no one is telling us how to do taxes. No one's telling us what even credit is. No one's telling us what any of the stuff we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives is about, or anything. So I'm just like, how do you expect us to all be prepared and ready to become adults next year or whenever we're about to become adults? And no one's taught us any of this stuff. Like, we have to focus on our parents or our families to teach us, but even our families sometimes don't even know how to do some of those things.
So Nautica, the question was, what would you like to see change in our society? So that was good? Everybody's ready for the next one? You got something?
Something I want to see change is more people getting aware of what's going on in their lives, because a lot of people, they're not really like being part of the change is because they're not aware. That's oh, this is cold. Yeah, so yeah, I just wish more people can be more aware of their surroundings and be more conscious of their actions.
Adding on to that, actually, yeah, I think people need to be more aware of things, because there's a lot of closed off people with all the issues going on. And I'm like, how are you closed off when there's literally outlets to learn everywhere?
Cold, there's a seat right there.
Cole now. Say hi, Cole. Okay, so we're going to follow up with the last two questions, because we all have so many things to do, and I'm thankful that you all were able to join us, especially on a last minute quest here.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
So the third question is, how do you feel about older generations deciding your future for you?
I feel like it's not necessarily like older generations. I have more of an issue with who's supposed to be representing us. As you can look around the table, those that are in power and like in Congress or like deciding the laws and writing the laws, they don't really look like us or live in our communities or know much about the situations, the culture we come from. So I have more of an issue with like the lack of representation of our communities.
Anybody else?
Could you repeat that again?
You would say that again?
I don't know. I was asking if you could repeat the question again.
Oh, yeah. The stupid thing.
She said she's gonna be there.
Okay, so it says, how do you feel about older generations deciding your future for you?
I think it's stupid.
I feel like they don't, like, since they're older than me, that means they live in a world that's not mine, because the world is always changing, and so they basically don't know how I feel. Then if you don't know how somebody feels, how are you supposed to give them the right treatments if they're not well?
Well, they say that they know better for you because they're older.
Actually, can I add on to that? To add on, I think it's stupid, because this generation is a lot more progressive than the generations back then, because they were just so closed-minded. They had racism. They had, it just went through so much, and we're different. We're accepting. I think we're more accepting than the other generations, and I'm done.
Yeah, so you're pretty much like this. We don't need to make America great again by their definition.
Yeah, it was never great.
Yeah.
Was racism great? When was it great?
I think America's fine.
No, it's not. We have room for an improvement. A big improvement.
No, wait. Yeah, let's Noel.
Yeah, I want to hear what Noah has to say.
It's not like I really don't agree with them like making decisions for us. Yes, they may be older and they have more experience and they're wiser than us, but they need to know that it's kind of like it's our time to like help or contribute to America, instead of just like them like putting out rules and us following them. I think they should like guide us into like a certain direction, like not a certain direction, but like guide us and giving us counsel, instead of actually telling us what to do, because we have a mind of our own. And I'm pretty sure they're just like us with how older generations are trying to tell them what to do. they're also like in a way rebellious. So I'm pretty sure that they would understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, I like that. That's good
Yeah,
input.
I agree with what she said on how the older generations should give us guidance rather than commands.
Also, I really feel that this generation does need guidance because with all the crazy stuff like Trump, Hillary, these memes are getting out of hand. Like these different genders that we didn't have 30 years ago that are coming out now, and then like all this anger that's coming out from like freaking from I forgot what's like the internet and just everything. We surely do need guidance. And I forgot what the one thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah, but like our generation's also very stubborn and like very like outspoken, so we probably might like talk way too much instead of listening. So it's something that we need to work on as our own generation, to listen more. And and also respect, because respecting the older generation also like they would hear us out more if we respected them.
That sounds good to me.
Is there anyone else? Still say America's greatest.
I don't know how I trust with a generation who says youth can't or don't know what they're doing, youth only care about certain things, youth this and that, all the stereotypes that are portrayed onto youth from these older generations guiding us. Like I understand we do need guidance and can use help, but then again, that's not why the internet's there for, but then again, we have like all the resources and we have all this knowledge that we can now use that wasn't there before with all the other generations, and we have all these new opportunities to like further ourselves into what we call the future, I guess. And so I just feel like we as a people should be together and thinking about like the different ways we can all help each other move forward, instead of like being like, because you're a certain thing or because you're a certain age or because you're a certain race, you can't do this or you can't help vote or you can't help with this, when we're all people and we should be making sure that everyone else survives, because we're kind of destroying our own stuff. So there's no point in killing each other when we're all gonna die in the end if we don't get together and save each other. So yeah.
Okay. So here's the last question. What would be, considering that some of you think that we're not at an ideal world yet, what would make your ideal world? What do you envision?
Kill Trump. Just like flat out kill Trump, assassinate him, low key.
Okay, well, we're just gonna say that was a fantasy and not something that you actually planned. Okay, cool.
Oh, I was talking out loud.
Yeah, that's the point. Talk out loud. What do you envision?
Like just being able to do what you want, not like what you want, because that's not okay. Because
you mean like take responsibility and not hurt anybody, but what you want?
Yeah, like because some people just should not be allowed to do what they want. That would not. But to just be like, be you and not to have to do anything that you don't want to do. So if you don't want to be classified as something, you don't have to be. You can invent your own thing. Like just have fun with life and not be told what to do.
You only live
90% of the time. Exactly. So you might as well do what you want 50% of the time, and then sleep.
I envision a world where queers don't have to kill themselves because people tell them they're not allowed to open up and be who they want to be, or a place where even just where black men aren't, or even black people in general aren't told that because of the way you were born, you won't be able to make it in the world, because you were born into this world the way you are, everyone's gonna hate you, or everyone is just going to be against you, and you have to fight extra hard just to survive. I want to see a world where everyone can just be born and be happy and live a life where they can make money and be themselves. So, yeah.
Also, adding on to Sky, I envision a world where people aren't killed because of the color of their skin, and police don't get away with it because they're cops and have the right to do that.
Well, I have a question regarding that, actually, just to add on real quick. I actually talked to conservatives on the internet, and they say that they think that it's black people's responsibility. They're the ones destroying their neighborhoods. What would you tell them? Oh, not a...
What I would say is after like 400 years of being enslavement, being put into situations, being kept into poverty, systematically institutions have been always against black people, people of color, that it is not our fault that there is no resources, there is no jobs, there is no opportunities where we live. It's the fact they move it away from us. They keep us from grabbing at the opportunities. And if you grab one, then you're the token. You're the only black person in a sea of people that don't look like you or don't know where you're coming from or don't understand the experience it is to actually deal with racism in America. So what I would say is that it's not black people's fault. Is that America is systematically set up so we are not able to survive and actually thrive in America.
And on that, we have 2 minutes to go.
Okay. Wrap it up. All right. Anybody else want to add anything else to say?
Oh, wait, to the society thing or like to the world?
Or just we're wrapping everything up. So any final words you want to add in?
Jeff, you got something?
Don't vote Donald Trump. Please don't.
Pineapples for life.
Something that would be part of my perfect world would be we have clean energy source where everybody can achieve what they want without doing any harm to anyone else, without like pulling anybody down in order to achieve what they want to achieve. Another thing is about how we can live in harmony and coexist with all the other inhabitants on this earth, like all the creatures and all the animals, where we don't have to take over their environment and have to slaughter them so that we can live.
AKA go vegan.
One more thing though.
Exactly.
One more thing for the perfect world. I feel like it would be a combination of capitalism and communism. Like where the it's like where the wealth is dispersed among the people, and like where you could also work hard to like make extra money, and not just like where you're just stuck with that just type of money. It's like where it's dispersed and it's equal, but you can also work yourself up.
So you believe more in a socialist society?
It's the same thing, right? Thank God.
Yeah, it's pretty much what a social